Coming to you live from the TSTV studio, it's Late Night Review with Kate Salkowitz and Jack Overbeck.
Good evening and welcome to Late Night Review, where we talk about what's happening
and what's not.
I'm Jack Overbeck.
I'm Kate Salkowitz, and here are tonight's top stories. Red Lobster has announced that it will start delivering its food around cities using Grubhub, because if there's anything better than discounted seafood, it's discounted seafood that spent 20 minutes on the back of a bike.
This Monday, Maisha Johnson, the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, said that President Trump couldn't remember her husband's name during his now infamous condolence call to her last week. Not surprising, coming from a guy who's unable to remember the countries he's bombed.
First Lady Melania Trump visited a middle school in Detroit this week, where she began her anti-bullying campaign by speaking to students during their lunchtime in the cafeteria. A stark contrast to the way Donald spent the free period, out in the hallway shoving nerds into lockers. Texas Longhorns quarterback Sam Ehlinger took a nasty fall during the Texas OU football game, raising concern around player safety. Here to comment is the man himself, Sam Ehlinger.
All right, so Sam, yeah, you took a pretty big hit during the game, man. Are you feeling all right?
Listen, Jack, I mean, he's feeling tremendous. In fact, he's never been in better condition, really physically or mentally.
It's Coach Herman, right? You're the new guy, yeah. Thank you for being here, but we really wanted to talk to Sam. So if we could hear from him.
Tell him. I've never felt better, Jack. Can't wait to get in the next game.
Sam, are you okay? Your voice sounds a bit odd.
Hey, listen, lay off the kid, would ya? His voice is a little scratchy because he shouts all the time in games. Jeez, he's just a kid.
But he doesn't even look conscious.
Okay, football is one of the most tiring sports out there. Players take naps all the time. I mean, come on.
Okay, well, anyways, Sam, do you think you're gonna be able to play in the next game?
I mean, of course he's going to be able to play. He's like an elite athlete in top-notch condition. I mean, Sam, my boy, why don't you show him how you throw one of them footballs?
Yeah, he doesn't look good at all, Coach. I guess while you're here, we have a couple questions for you.
Oh, really? Talk to me, Goose.
Is he good?
What?
He's just taking a nap, big guy.
All right, so are you at all concerned for your players' safety?
Okay, come on, that's a stupid question. Of course I'm concerned. You know, that's what the weekly P charts are for. I mean, it's for hydration, make sure the players are nice and healthy. In fact, I have Sam's sample with me right here today. Now, if you take a nice close look at it, you can see it's pretty clear, you know, yellowish tint. All signs of a very healthy, good sample. Perfect!
Anyway, has a doctor or some other medical professional been able to look at Sam's condition?
Oh, no doubt. You know, Doc said, he should be cleared to play. You know, he might have some of the typical conditions of a concussion, you know, nausea, dizziness. He might throw to the wrong team when it's overtime, you know, just the typical stuff.
Well, thanks, Coach. Sam, do you have anything that you'd like to say before you go?
Can't wait to get back on the field for all you Longhorns out there. And as always, hook 'em horns!
Quarterback Sam Ehlinger and Coach Tom Herman, everyone.
Coach. Oh, boy. Well, reports have surfaced that Donald Trump once left his son Donald Jr. stranded on a tarmac after he was 5 minutes late for a flight, and to make matters worse, he made Eric fly out on the wing.
This past week, a Boy Scout was kicked out of his scout troop after he asked a Colorado state senator why she wouldn't support common sense gun laws. This consequence in keeping with the Scouts' recent motto change from the former, "Be prepared," to the new, "Prepare to be silenced by the Republican establishment."
A Michigan school district has put students and parents on high alert after an unmarked school bus was caught trying to pick up students at afternoon dismissal. Officials became suspicious when they noticed that Woody Allen was driving the bus.
A Canadian police force is threatening drunk drivers with a cruel and unusual punishment, forcing them to listen to Nickelback's Silver Side Up in its entirety. Because if the threat of jail time wasn't already an effective enough deterrent, 39 sweet minutes of Chad Kroger's honey smooth voice should do the trick.
38 women have now come forward to accuse Hollywood writer and director James Toback of sexual assault during the past week. Most people would call this a career-ending disgrace, but for Toback, it's the most fame he'll ever know.
On Monday morning, Donald Trump said that the Republican tax overhaul would include no changes to Americans' 401ks. However, many pundits remain skeptical, considering that in Trump's mind, a 401k is just a very small loan of $401,000.
Several marijuana farms burned to ash in the recent California wildfires, spreading smoke throughout the area, said the atmosphere. Did you ever think about how, these clouds are, so high right now, but also so high right now?
Well, it seems that Trump's announcement that he will be releasing the long classified JFK files from the National Archive this week isn't really the full story. As it turns out, the release of the documents was already mandated to occur this month according to a 1992 law. So it was scheduled. Trump taking credit for this would be like if one of your professors got up in front of the class and was like, "Hey guys, so I've thought a lot about it, and I've decided to cancel class for Thanksgiving weekend. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's going to be amazing. Tremendous turkey, the best cranberry sauce. You're gonna love it."
And finally, this weekend, 5 former presidents teamed up at a benefit to raise money for hurricane relief. The only thing that would have made it better? 6 former presidents. For Late Night Review, I'm Kate Salkowitz.
I'm Jack Overbeck.
Good night.